Hey, y'all, raise your glasses. As we sharing this moment in time, let's drink to us. And all the real ones listening while we kick it on wax, let's drink to that. Cheers.
Cheers. I don't wanna know
Okay, yeah.
if you playing me. Keep it
On
on
the
the
low.
low.
Uh,
'Cause my heart can't take it anymore.
Why that song?
Felt like it fits the time.
Okay.
Like, he was ahead of his time. You know what?
You're stupid.
You know what they say? Somebody don't love you if they'll lie to you. I hate that we believe that.
Child, listen. I love that song.
It was so many like bops back in the day that we just sleep on until you hear it and you're like, damn, that
He
was
said,
one
if
of
you
the
playing
ones.
me, just keep it on the low.
Just keep it on the low.
My heart can't take it no more.
But it was a lot of joints back in the day that was really like it spoke into toxicity and also some a little aloofness. The reason I say that is think of Carl Thomas.
I love him.
I mean, it's a running joke on the meme of where he was like shocked and disappointed when he drove by and the girl was like with her family outside on the porch.
Oh my God, how embarrassing.
It hurts so bad. Like, bro, like, and I wish I never met her. Like, she put up, basically what the song is saying is she put her foot back out there in the streets. She hit him with a like, hey, big head.
It was a fake out.
You know what I'm saying?
It was a fake out.
You know, the nigga made her mad one night. She was like, nigga, I got options. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, Carl, like, you didn't know she had nobody. Like, you thought she was just single for
Man,
real.
She had a whole brownstone with her family. They living like the Huxtables. And you try to come in between that. Think of the equity they have now, 20 years later.
Oh my, not the equity.
Gentrification
Oh
came.
my God.
They done made their
If
money.
they still together,
Kids that been put through school. And you try to break this up.
He was
Because you
not.
got an S550.
He was not trying to work it up.
He came through in the silver bins.
He thought she was trying to be babe.
With the
And she was
turtleneck.
like, psych.
He was trying to take home brunch dates to get hookah and shit.
I like that kind of Carl
They
Thomas.
setting up bonds and CDs for the kids. And you disappointed. The husband was helping her with the stroller.
She had a weak moment.
Like,
She had a weak moment. And Carl Thomas was there.
go watch the video again.
I think everybody should. We should post a clip.
And look at his face.
He was let down.
He was let down that she didn't leave her damn family. Why would you want somebody that wouldn't leave it all for
See,
you?
I don't think that's it. I don't think he was like, damn it, she's not leaving everybody. I don't think he knew. Did he know?
How does
Was
a
it
woman
disappointment or was it blindsided?
How does a woman? I don't want to know a woman that's that good of a liar that can hide a whole family. A nigga can hide a family. Like
We've seen.
but
Studies
you know,
shown.
mama get calls for everything. So
That's true.
you out on a date, you spending the night or something. If your baby ain't FaceTiming you or hit you like, mama, where is so and so?
See, I disagree. Women are way better liars.
I know.
We can get away. She got away with
You
it.
can lie when it comes to a man.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't lie when it comes to a family and kids. So she must have told him she got kids and they separated.
I don't even think more so was Carl Thomas asking the right questions.
Why are we doing a deep dive?
In my thesis, I'm going to prove.
We sound like Black Twitter right now.
Oh, my
think
God.
Piece, they'll watch a video and think piece the hell out of this.
What a oof.
You remember like the Case video came out, couldn't we be happily ever?
Ever
He posed to Beyonce.
He did.
This was like a barely legal Beyonce.
Right.
Like,
Let's not get into the logistics.
and that became a whole deep dive into the predatory like ways of the.
That's
of,
their favorite word. Black Twitter favorite word is predatory. Words like predatory, like emotional, intelligence, all of them. They
people
love them
forget
words.
that Case looked old, but he was only about 25. Like
And Beyonce was what? 17?
18. I'm gonna give her 18. Like
I mean, when you in Hollywood, your age is not your real age.
I
It's
hate
just
that.
not what it is.
they have something that's coming out on Brooke Shields.
I saw that.
Um,
Baby, something.
Pretty
Baby?
baby,
Yeah.
and it's like where it shows how you're fetishized in a way as being the young, like attractive person in Hollywood
Yeah.
in entertainment. But I always felt as though um, that's why parents that put their kids in that limelight. I'm not here to blame anybody, but it's like it's hard to keep that kid, a kid
Right.
when it comes to that because that kid is worth a lot of money in a lot of people's jobs.
Yeah.
And also, so what they're gonna do is like try to make that kid appeal in some way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
You can't control who it appeals to, unfortunately. So
Yeah.
you take the control out of your hands and out of your dynamic. So, cause you gotta think that's why Beyonce don't like y'all now. She been in this stuff too long. Like
I get it.
like
I get it. I barely like people. I've only been doing it for 7 years.
like Beyonce, like I've been dancing for y'all ass and showing up on Smart Guy,
gyrating and doing all types of
Beyonce
things.
had to go on tour, and when you coming up, you got to go do like shows like Soul Train, Arsenio Hall.
Mm-hmm.
They even performed on Magic Johnson, and that show had 2 seasons.
Oh Lord, that was
Matthew had them everywhere. He was Joe Jackson.
It worked
of the girl groups.
It worked,
and so I see why she pop out when she chooses to pop out because I'm like I've been doing this shit too long.
Yeah.
And so another thing, since we're speaking about celebrities and music, before we get on, you've been hearing the AI voiceovers.
Yes.
Some
Rihanna sang "Cuff It." No,
Cuff It.
Was it "Cuff It"?
And then
Drake.
She sung what song is Rihanna's they sung? Oh, Tim's.
I didn't hear that one.
That's the one everybody was like, God damn, that might be the one.
Sick.
They try to elevate her.
It's nothing sacred anymore.
They trying to elevate Tim's.
And put it on everything?
No, you know what I mean by elevate is you remember when Jacquees came out with his everybody tried to act like that was, that's an abomination. That's why he started trying to sing every week on shit, and y'all started talking about
R&B.
Cause y'all gas his head up,
yes,
and had him thinking like he could say this shit.
With his little self.
Like that's where hell went wrong. This man gave y'all the snippet while you sat in the passenger side of a Civic.
Y'all held on to it.
Y'all try to get it on SoundCloud. She kept pulling it off her streaming sites, and y'all finding a way to bring it up. Nigga slowing it down a little bit, so it's like she can't find. I'm like the shit y'all went through to hijack her song.
So wait, how they doing it to Tim's?
AI. They literally could put somebody else's voice over it, but the real one sound good.
Oh, so it's Rihanna singing the Tim song,
yeah, it's a
not
Rihanna
Rihanna
voice
and Tim's collab.
Singing the Tim song. So
Damn.
now everybody like, oh shit, Tim's, what's up? Like,
and my thing, AI needs to stop. They making fake people using fake voices.
Hey,
nothing's
I ain't
real.
Gonna lie, Tim's is gonna. They're gonna be using that shit to get out of school,
It's crazy.
Out of work.
Yeah.
Gonna be calling they HR with a sick child in the back, mommy.
Yeah, or on the screen, it's not really me. You know what I mean? It's an AI description of myself. I'm gone.
Yeah, you can make pictures of yourself and shit you would never wear.
Yep.
You can be a goddamn cowboy.
You can be anything.
You can be anything you want.
That's crazy and
it's
scary.
really scary.
It's terrifying.
I'm gonna be like, you gonna have to before you make a decision on anybody. Like, think of if you are a company trying to look for influencers, and it's a whole AI profile.
Oh my goodness.
They got you.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
Catfish going on 10.
Catfish on 10.
That's different.
Man, where we at? We in the Matrix, man.
I need to rewatch that so I can be prepared for what's coming. I need to rewatch
red
that.
Pill, blue pill.
And what's the other one with the robots? I Am Legend?
I Am Legend. I mean, you see the people making these goddamn robotic dogs. I remember I was in Austin. I saw a goddamn robotic DoorDash. I mean, Grubhub. Just delivering some shit. Fucked me up. Because I'm like walking and something just like literally, like while I'm at the corner, I'm like, what the fuck?
That's crazy.
SMU got them riding around all over the goddamn.
Domino's got them delivering pizzas.
Look at all these media jobs they taking away.
I'm sorry.
Bro, do you know how sick that gotta be? Bro, you done found a way to finesse the game. I mean, DoorDash this shit. You know what I'm saying? DoorDash 6 hours a day.
That's scary.
Cash myself out.
You know what I'm saying?
Now they like, man, fuck y'all.
Robot. Beep, boop, beep, boop.
We ain't paying him nothing. And he don't complain about his hours.
Not all. He can work all times of night.
Oh man,
That's scary.
I ain't gonna lie. Shoot, back in 2016 when I had got laid off, I was like I had did the math. So after they had paid me my severance or whatever, my little going away package. You know, I tell you like we go pay you enough to get up out of here for a few months and hope for the best. And I just realized unemployment don't pay me enough. Like,
see,
that's $680 every 2 weeks was like
nothing.
Like I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna have to go out here and just study it out. I Ubered for about a month and a half.
You did?
Did Uber and Uber Eats. I was living in Louisville. Man, I used to kill at the airport though.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
I drove a nigga like deep way past Rock Wall. And I remember that was like an $80 ride, and then he tipped me like $40. So I started posting up at the airport and just waiting for somebody to hit. Cause I'm like, that's where the money was.
Yeah.
But then, you know, I'm like, bro, I don't like people in my car.
And for that long?
Like that's when I knew this shit wasn't for me. And then you gotta think, if you like at night when you get the spike, they paying you more for the drive, but it's a bunch of drunk ass motherfuckers. I almost whooped the goddamn white boy ass.
What did he do?
Uptown. So a bunch of drunk ass kids, I feel like these SMU kids, they get in the car. So I'm it's called Dollar Social now, but it used to be something else.
Concrete Cowboy.
It was Concrete Cowboy, and they were getting in from Concrete Cowboy. And the dude, like it was first of all, 6 of y'all can't fit in my goddamn car.
That's the worst.
It's only supposed to be 4 people in here max.
So also back out.
So I'm seeing my back seat full and somebody in the front seat. First of all, I hate when people ride in the front seat.
That's so childish.
And so
Yuck.
it was one motherfucker I guess didn't get in, and so I'm like getting ready to like roll out because the door closed. He was like, "Fuck, what the fuck are you taking on for? You see I'm not in here, dumb fuck." And I'm like, "Oh shit." I'm like, he talk like at first I didn't think he was talking to me. I'm like, it ain't no way.
No, it's impossible.
No way he's talking to me in my shit.
Right.
I'm like, do you really need this?
Okay.
Because I can backhand his ass like my mama used to do right now. And they gonna think I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Right, now you wrong.
Like I would have been the angry black man that beat up 4 privileged white kids because they would have jumped in. Now I'm gotta whoop all y'all ass.
Yeah.
And I feel like every black person walking by would have jumped in too.
Absolutely.
So now we got a whole goddamn
it's a race war. Yeah.
Uptown because one goddamn privileged white boy wanna talk crazy to me in my car. But I rode in silence. I just rode in silence. Matter of fact, I ain't even put no music on. I wanted them to feel the awkwardness. I just turned the shit off and just ride. They just talking about it. It was like, where are we going? You want a Whataburger? I remember one girl talking about, you want a Whataburger? And then I'm just walking. He was like, and I heard one of them say, you think you'll stop at Whataburger?
Fuck no, I'm not.
I was like, I ain't making no stops. I think they knew then, like, this nigga ain't the
He ain't fucking with us.
Like, I dropped them off at some goddamn like townhome, and they got their drunk ass out in my car, and that was probably the second to last day before I quit Uber.
I bet.
I'm like, I'm too good for
no,
this shit.
like, yeah, I can't.
I felt like the help.
I don't want nobody in my car. I don't want to keep my car clean for y'all. Ain't you talking to me crazy? And it's my gas.
Man, that shit, I ain't gonna lie, but that shit like dope money though. Cause you just be in bed, just can't sleep at 1 in the morning. Like, let me go make some money.
That's crazy.
Just turn the Uber app on. Just ride around with that bitch until somebody, just ride around at 1:30 until somebody, beep, beep, you know what I'm saying? Like,
for real?
That's how I'd be.
That's crazy.
Hey, man, you gotta get it how you live, man.
Look at you. You resourceful.
Hey, man, I could not wait on unemployment. I needed to have something coming in.
All the time. That's a good trait.
Like, shit, bro. Like, that's why any man with a car or anybody with a car and insurance, because you gotta have insurance. Man, get your ass on Uber or some shit and go make some money, man.
I might, I don't like my car.
Nah. You don't drive good enough to be happy.
Excuse you. I'm an A1 top-notch driver.
Your goddamn like Uber rate to be a 4.1.
No, they're like mine. It is gonna be fun.
Reckless driving.
No. But if I do have people in my car who are rushing, I got you. I'm the rushing Uber. I get you where you need to be fast.
Oh man, you silly. What's been going on with you though?
Honestly, everything. Work, my job is great, but like it's picking up because the summer is a busy season for us.
Yep.
And then at Baddie Brunch, I've been just trying to secure partnership deals with like liquor brands and like companies and stuff. I actually have an event coming up with Baddie Brunch in partnership with Patron that I'm really excited about. And just trying to like have events often,
Hmm.
especially those free events. You've been to like my movie screenings and stuff that I'll do.
I feel so much like an influencer.
Do you when you go?
Because I don't post on social media nothing, but I be trying to put my hashtags.
Yeah.
Like, this shit looks trash.
No.
Like hopefully she reposts it.
No, I think it's just posting and tagging that helps, but just, brunch, movies, a Southern classic. I'm gonna do a National Rose Day party with Chef Kev at Pangea. So just Baddie Brunch is going, Royal Cliff is moving. People want me to do events for them. Fucking trying to date, but like not trying to get in my head about it. Good health, keep my apartment clean. I feel like in my 30s, it's just so much to juggle. And then the podcast, you know what I mean? So it's just like so many things, but
It feel like you lit.
is that what it feels like?
It sound like you lit.
Eh.
Like, people try to book me. You know what I'm saying? They got to get in where they fit in. Niggas on my line. I ain't really got time. That's what it sound like. I'm reading through it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying.
I hate you.
I'm just
I
saying.
don't like you.
Hey, I'm putting it out. This your season.
I
Bask in
guess
your
so.
shit. You're glowing.
You know what? I am glowing. I'm not gonna lie. It's my new skincare routine.
Hey, that
Jeez.
line, line stay busy.
Yeah, people hit my line, but yeah, I have been busy. But also I take time for myself often. But what about you? What you been up to?
Man, I've been working for the white man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sound like I'm a boss Hispanic. So
Oh, okay. Black and brown connection.
But honestly, man, just working. I really have found myself in real chill vibes. Preparing to go to Arizona next week.
Sorry I lied to you, Martin.
Did they want to go to Arizona? Look at that.
What's in Arizona?
Me and my girl, we celebrating our 2-year anniversary coming up.
Yay!
She done hijacked my 420 holiday.
Oh, is it on 420?
Yeah, it's on 420. 420 will never be the same for me.
No. Oh, y'all can do 420
No, what I'm
things
saying
together.
is like, nigga, I need to prioritize this. Because
Yes.
I forget it's about weed now.
Yeah.
Because 420, I know it's coming up.
It's about something else.
It's about something else.
I feel that.
So we going to Savannah, the wellness resort. We went there last year. It's like almost an annual thing for us.
Oh my God, that's so rich.
It's like so relaxed. I mean, I wouldn't say that. I just know I just feel like Arizona is a peaceful place to be.
I've heard.
You know what I mean? Like, and just riding through Arizona, so lit. And if you ever go to Arizona, the best thing to do is put the Waiting to Excel soundtrack on
Mm-hmm.
and just ride. Like we went to this spot called Different Point of View. It has an amazing view where it overlooked the city.
Yeah.
And it's about a 20-minute ride, 25-minute ride from the resort. And we just riding and just imagine the Arizona night.
Oh my
and it's getting
goodness.
purple and orange and stuff. And it ain't a lot going on. So it's just
You in the
mountains
road.
and the road and the sky. And I'm just thinking about myself, like, this feels like the opening of Waiting to Excel.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
'cause you
so.
know-
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm jamming in my head.
Like, hey, man, put that shit on and then
That's so
just ride out.
sweet.
Probably gonna have Tim's on or something like this.
Yeah,
now.
Tim's or
I'm
Rihanna.
trying to get my playlist together now for the ride. Like, that's my favorite part of the trip, just
The playlist?
riding. Like, and just, because we don't get to see that shit when we here in Texas.
Yeah, absolutely not. I mean, you could go to Marfa, but Arizona is way better.
Yeah, and then I always say, man, y'all don't sleep on that. I feel like it ain't enough of us that go to places outside of the norm.
That's real. That's very real. Arizona is on my like solo trip list. Like that's the place I want to
Savannah
go.
would be a perfect place for you.
I need to get the information after this, because I really want to look it up. I was gonna say something else. Something about Arizona.
Because it's a wellness resort and spa. So what that means is like it's like all about relaxation and just chill vibes and just like they got yoga classes, they got like stretching classes, they got
How cool.
and like it's just one of them ones. It's something that Joan would do on Girlfriend
I see that.
if she had a breakup.
Yeah.
You feel me?
When
Like,
she has a breakup, because they're often.
they're often like I've been watching Girlfriends. That's our
Oh,
show
shit.
we watch when we go to bed.
Okay.
and I'm not watching it in order, so you kind of notice the consistency of the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Joan just was the common denominator of fucking up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think we've caught it out. We're gonna do a deep dive one day on Girlfriends.
That'd be good because she's problematic. So are other people on the show.
Oh, I hate Tony Charles. She did
She's
that white man real wrong.
She did everybody she knew.
But the
real
white
wrong.
man stood out. He kept saying, "I can't afford this shit." She put him in debt.
She did.
She ain't want him.
She didn't.
I'm like Mara. This is Mara.
And then the final time where somebody didn't show up for her, which was Joan, which was bad.
She want to swing on him.
It's come on now, Tony Childs with Tony Childs Realty.
Mara, I ain't gonna lie, she's an amazing producer, like director, but she makes some toxic ass shit.
Did I tell you I ran into her in Martha's Vineyard?
I'm the rich one. Oh my gosh, did you just stun on us?
I did.
Oh my gosh, like we did brunch over Clico and orange juice. Is that what you told me?
That's not what I just said.
Oh,
I wish.
Overlooking the bay.
I'll be going back this summer, so hopefully I'll see her again.
Martha's Vineyard. What does that what does it taste like? What does the air taste like in Martha's Vineyard?
I went to Martha's Vineyard to treat myself to a self-care weekend. My first time traveling alone. And I stayed in Oak Bluffs, but I had Ubered on my last day to Edgartown, which is like where the Obamas have their property and stuff.
Stunt one-on-one. We listening.
They got the property. I'm just visiting.
We listening, though. We listening.
So there's this coffee shop called Behind the Bookstore. There's a bookstore in the front, and then behind the bookstore is a cafe. So you go through this like cute gravel little backyard. It's super, super cute and chic. And so I'm sitting there to get my bougie black girl content because I want to experience all the things. So I have my croissant and my latte, which was terrible. And I'm just sitting there, right? And then this super cute black lady walks by, and I'm the only black person there. And so I see her, and I'm mesmerized if I don't say anything.
Yamara wanted them ones.
You know?
And then the gray hair was flowing.
She had that. She had a visor and a tennis outfit on. It was navy and white. It was like, you are living what I should be living.
Yeah.
And so she gets her coffee and stuff, and as she walks out, I see her, and she's like, what did she say? Oh, I stopped her. And I was like, I'm sorry, but like, you are beautiful. I don't know who she was.
Yeah.
I was like, you are beautiful. I just had to say that. She's like, oh my God, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. I was like, you too. And 5, 4, 3, no way. That's not her. Is it her? I go to her Instagram. This lady is in the place that I'm in. It has to be her. So it was her. I saw Mara. Yeah, and I'll never forget that moment ever in my life.
That's how you see celebrities, like real money celebrities. You got to go to places like that because they just be chilling.
They was just
she
casual.
Never just be walking around casually like that. Like just enjoy the rest of your day, fellow rich black girl.
Exactly. That's exactly what she said.
I feel like if she was in Atlanta, she wouldn't stop.
Hell no, Atlanta, Chicago.
Like, oh, you in my ballpark? Hey, you have a good day.
I want her to be like, would you like to come play tennis with us?
That shit would have been lovely.
And I would have been like, yes, fuck that ferry, fuck that flight. I'll wait.
Imagine sitting, trying to bullshit these people talking about. I used to play in the summer with my pop.
Not my pop.
My papa.
My papa.
Motherfucker lie to these people.
I do play tennis. Thank you very much. So I would have fit right in.
Your ass would have been like, what's on the Esquire off of ATL? They'll know you're a project, baby.
They'll never know.
They'll never know.
No, I don't have Instagram. Sorry.
Yeah, what's your name? You know, my dad would never let us on social media.
No, exactly.
Mess up the brand.
Here's my email though. Because what?
Patty Brunch. Sounds exclusive.
It is. Thanks, Mara. See you next summer.
Oh my God.
But I will be there next summer. I don't know how I got on Martha's Vineyard.
Oh man, she probably got a crib next to the Obamas.
Oh man.
Michelle be like talking shit over mimosas.
Yeah, I think this summer I probably would try to stay in Edgartown and like visit Oak Bluffs.
Us common people don't know those places. I don't even know how to get to Martha's Vineyard. Like, how do you get there? Like, I ain't never been to the airport and saw a flight to Martha's Vineyard, so I don't know how to get there.
Please stop. taking me out.
Never even looked it up on to see what the flights. That's a different level right there. Like, I gotta keep going. You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you, friend.
I saw Inkwell. Didn't even think it was a real place.
That's why I went. I went because of Inkwell.
I didn't even think it was a real place.
And
I was
Inkwell,
like, niggas is balling like this.
It's a real place, and Inkwell Beach, like it's a real.
Niggas is balling like this, huh? Okay.
It was very nice.
You know, I didn't know this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
hey,
can't
man,
stand you.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
God damn it, I'm proud of you.
I appreciate that.
We got this little spread here. You know, we ain't
Yes.
started drinking yet.
We
This is
haven't.
all sober.
This is
how
all
you
sober
know
thoughts.
we ain't seen each other in a while. This is all sober.
Okay, so can I talk about the drink?
Yeah, come on, put us on.
So basically, you know, I'm doing my event with Patron on April 23rd. Tickets are still on sale. But I want to do French 75s, and they were like, well, let's use Patron to make Mexican 75s, basically is what they call them. So I have all the supplies here. I got Patron Silver. I got some sparkling wine, which I just like to call champagne. I have Saint Germain, which is my favorite elderflower liqueur. And I have some lemon juice. I have some lemon juice packets, courtesy of Twan.
Quick Trip's fine.
I asked Twan to pick me up some lemon juice, and this is what he brought me.
This is such a man's response to getting the job. You know what I'm saying? Easy clean
I'm
up.
looking.
you
There's
know?
so many packets. I have some simple syrup, 2 martini glasses. I really wanted to use like champagne flutes, but I only had one. So I got martini glasses, and I have a lemon zester because I want to zest some lemon to go on top of the cocktail.
Man, this is what you miss out on when you don't date women. Like when you just be at home playing video games. I bet y'all don't have a zester.
Hello.
I never had a zester in my house till I got with my girl. This is type of stuff men just don't have laying around.
And don't
the
even
house.
think to
I ain't
get-
have a cutting board. I was
Okay.
like, I'm gonna tell you why I
All
never
right.
had a cutting board. I'm gonna tell you why I never had a cutting board. Cause I don't like clean up after
So what you was cutting on? Paper plates?
plastic. Not the paper, cause you know that it cuts through.
through.
So I get
Plastic.
the plastic.
Oh my God.
The shit is immaculate, but goddamn it, like I'm not trying to wash her. Dishes in the sink give me anxiety.
I get that.
Like
You
you
must just
remember
get
on
a
Boomerang,
whooping.
every time they have the Thanksgiving dinner
Episode. Oh, that
episode,
kitchen.
and then the kitchen after that, I have to skip through it. It gives me anxiety.
For real? That's a little known fact.
I'm throw it off.
Wow. I would have never known
And I was
that.
like, oh. And then what irks me is how clean they looked after they did it. Like this nigga still got his damn turtleneck on. I'm like, ain't no way.
Right? You
Y'all
had to
had
come up out them
chitlins.
clothes.
They had chitlins.
Mm-mm.
I know this is a random ass discovery of mine, but hey.
There we go. I'm making a cocktail right now, so I haven't made a cocktail in a while. But I love making cocktails for the men that I'm dating my gentlemen callers, when they come over to my house.
The gentleman callers.
Mhm.
Your hoes.
That's not what I said. I'm not dealing with hoes no more. I told you that.
you know that's why you said you ain't been making no cocktails recently.
No, I haven't. But maybe I'll make one later.
I will say this though. You know, I feel as though it's certain things that when a girl likes you, when a woman likes you, bro, you can tell. When she at home and she making you drinks and shit when you come over, trying to get you lit. You know what I'm saying?
I
But
love it.
she put salt around your rims and shit.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I would like to have a man over and we make drinks together. You know? Like I think that's like a really intimate thing.
I mean, anything you do in the kitchen together is intimate. You know,
That's
I
facts.
feel like that's something we have to do. We do that once a week at least.
Really? Y'all
together.
cook a meal together?
Yeah, we be each other's sous chef. You know what I'm saying?
So
We do
what's the last meal y'all made?
matter of fact, the last meal we made together, we made a salmon with like a crawfish
Sauce?
sauce that we put
Ooh.
on top, and with some crawfish tails in it, and then we had that over a bed of rice, and then we had some broccolini.
I guess my invite. Y'all have invited me over and I haven't been able to make it. So I think
Nigga,
my invite has been revoked.
you
That's
lit.
fucked up.
You lit.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So shit. When you got time, you know what I'm saying? We know your schedule gonna be busy. Come over and pull up, bring some champagne or something. You know, you love bringing champagne to everybody.
I really
You
do.
the Prosecco queen. You know
I
what I'm saying?
love bringing champagne to people's houses.
But you know another thing I wanted to talk about today.
What?
Man, you know they say nostalgia is a great place to be, but sometimes it's scary. You know, Freaknik, the
Oh shit.
documentary got a lot of people shook
Yeah.
in Generation X, the millennials. I feel as though we'll find out exactly how the '90s were for some people who weren't there, because you know we feel as though they didn't have fun.
Yeah.
You know how we forget that our parents and our uncles and stuff, they turned up just like us. You know what I'm saying? And so actually, they have a true life on Freaknik. If you ever,
On what station?
it's on
Channel?
YouTube.
On what station?
It's
How
on,
old am
it's
I?
on YouTube. It's like literally 1998 Freaknik, and they dudes went down there in a Winnebago, and that's when you know times change. They went down there with a Winnebago, and it was a stunt. That's like letting you know we about to get lit. Letting you know we about to get lit.
That's AMSR right there.
I actually like ASMR videos too.
We gonna see, cause if it's nasty to one, don't tell the camera.
You know my favorite ASMR person. You know that black lady that be with the dried up lipstick. That be like.
No, I don't know who you talking about.
I'm gonna show it to y'all, but yeah, that's my favorite. That's who put me in the ASMR game. That was the first one. I was like, this shit's relaxing. You just sitting there watching her like chew on Jolly Ranchers and shit.
What?
Cause the sound in the mic, like,
you like that?
I'm weird. I told
shit
you.
makes
Y'all,
me
I guess this
cringe.
episode y'all find out I'm a
How
little
weird
bit
is
off.
Twine?
You know what I'm saying?
Introducing the next episode. I like
You
that.
know.
I like the episode.
You know, I mean, I feel like it's much worse stuff you could be weird about.
Champagne popping.
Big things.
Let's go do a little topper for you. And then we're gonna zest the lemon.
And this feels like one of them goddamn catbird drinks.
And I put a little bit of zest on there.
I feel like I'm supposed to be paying you like $24. This one of them cocktails that cost about $24.
Hell yeah. STK drinks is $19, people. I don't recommend, but the happy hour is $9.
And that's all she doing is that.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, the Freaknik documentary.
Yes. What do you think it's gonna be like?
I think it's gonna be so. They have a podcast. If y'all haven't, they have a podcast series on Freaknik where they kind of like walk through the creation of it, like how it started. They interview some people who went.
If it's nasty, not my fault. Okay. Handle with care.
Oh man. It was refreshing. It was good.
Really? You want some more liquor? Or it doesn't be sweeter or something?
Nah, this perfect. Look at her making me cultured.
Cue the applause. Okay, now
I'm
make
supposed to have
mine.
some linen pants on.
Okay. Maybe you should go to the Southern Classic.
Y'all hear her.
Okay, now I'm gonna make mine, but list Freaknik.
Yeah, so what do you think it's gonna be like? What is your opinion of what this documentary is gonna portray?
Honestly, I'll say this. I've always been curious about Freaknik, but I've never been one of them people that's like, I always wanted to go to the Freaknik. Like, no, it just seemed like too unhinged. Like, everything is everywhere. I also wasn't the person, like, during undergrad, I wasn't excited to go to Miami for Memorial Day weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just way too unhinged for me.
Yeah.
But I do think people are talking about the type of demographic that is going to catch the most flack from this documentary. I think Black male educators. That's the demographic that I think will be called out.
That was the nigga that was down
People
there.
that are principals now, administrators, police officers, mayors,
deacons.
Yeah, dignitaries. Like, that's who's gonna have a fall from grace.
Cause I ain't gonna lie, I was watching the True Life one yesterday, and what scared me is it's kind of predatory at moments because it's like women. It felt as though it was one part. It was one part where the girl was like dancing, and the dudes was so adamant about touching her, and then they just started ripping the clothes off. The cops had to come in. That's the scary part of it.
That's oof.
I feel as though for them to actually portray the entire aspect of what Freaknik was, they had to show it from every angle, the good and the bad.
Okay.
You know,
Keep
like,
going with that.
you know, and especially because to add context to it, especially in the time now that we know better, you know, we are more aware of the behaviors we should be doing when it comes to women. I think that's why it'll start conversations that might be a little, you know, that might be a little serious. And I say this because if you ever look at Girls Gone Wild or things like that, it's normally a contingent of men around a few women doing acts.
Yeah.
And the portrayal of that back then was way more acceptable than it is now. So I think that's gonna rub some people the wrong way. But the good thing about it, I think it's gonna humanize the generation to us. You know what I'm saying?
So what is the millennial perception of Gen X? Like, how do we feel? Because I hung out when I went to dinner at the house of the CEO, at the office of the CEO at the Arboretum last night. I hung out with a lot of Gen Xers. And it was odd because I was the only millennial and 4 Gen Xers. You know what I'm saying? So I was outnumbered, so to speak. But when I was telling them about the Southern Classic and what demographic that is, I was like, oh, Southern Classic is like ages 27 to 37, right? They were like, oh my God, that's too young, you know? And so, but when I was asking her to curate, to me, what does the ideal event have for your demographic? It was a lot of the same elements: open bar, food, music, you know? So
with no vlogs, no content created.
Got you.
I think that's a big thing. That's the disconnect between the Generation X and the millennials. Is we're the first generation to really like grow up with social media, so we documented everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's what we know.
Like I was just at St. Rocco last night. It was literally 2 girls in the middle. Like I go to the restroom because we were sitting outside. I go to the restroom. It's 2 girls literally got a whole stand up about 4 feet high with a phone attached to it, standing up making content in the middle of the goddamn restaurant.
Oh my God. But that's where we are now.
Like, and so
that's where we are now.
I think that's the disconnect for us because you know they always say because you got to think Freaknik would have never happened with social media.
Hell no.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so like that was one of the things that made it dope because you kind of had to be there to catch the vibe. That's why you have photo albums that are coming out now. Like my mom used to take us to beach party. Like I went to Kappa with my mom. And the shit you used to see was crazy, but I could never explain it to you if you wasn't there. Like a woman like riding around the back of a motorcycle with her titties out.
Just straight out.
Just straight out. And my mama like trying to control the situation, but like, mama, you brought me.
You brought me here.
You brought me here.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and I remember, I don't know how she got the footage, but so they used to have the little cassette tapes that go inside the big cassette tapes for the video camcorders. So my mom had like beach party like videos, and so some of her homeboys would record on her camera. And so I remember being there, but I never was around when like women like were doing their thing or whatever. But I would sneak and watch the videos when she would leave. And that's when I knew like, oh shit.
What was you seeing, young Twan?
Man, one dude we was with, he had a sign that say, let me see some G-string. He had made a sign that say, let me see some G-strings. Like he had wrote on the back of like a beer box or some shit. And he had flattened it and just, and so they, by the water at Surfside, so on Memorial Day, 4th of July, during the Capitol, the black people would go to Surfside. That's like a part of Galveston.
Okay.
And so it's like cars parked on the sea line and all that and everything. Just people just walking the beach and like just doing shit. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas with girls popping ass and shit. Dudes on 4-wheelers and motorcycles and girls just bent over like. So you were seeing like dudes putting their hand in the girl ass and shit like that, or in their vagina, like. And one of the things that stood out to me was that one of the girls, it was like this group of 3 girls, and I remember it was one that had a real short cut with a blue bikini, and her homegirl was just with the shits, like she was
all the sexual shits.
Yeah, she was on jumping on niggas, and like they was like you know, like picking up and like, you know, and like acting like they fucking and shit. Like,
Oh my God,
but
that whole thing.
all the dudes wanted the girl in the blue.
But she wasn't the one.
She wasn't the one on the shit, but because she was with the group of girls that was with the shits, they like hounding her and like trying to put their finger. She like, nuh-uh.
Oh my God, but on some birds of a feather flock together vibes.
I remember, and that's what I'm saying. Is so the thing about it is that's the type of stuff that I feel as though when people's like, oh, your mama you gonna see your mama. I'm like, bro, your mama shaking ass. Because first of all, women didn't even dress provocative like that back in the day. Because like jerseys and jean shorts was like provocative. Like wearing like a halter top and some quote unquote hoochie mama shorts, which are denim. That don't even show your ass.
But from them videos, they was dressed
But
provocative.
that was the video girls. That was so abnormal back in the day. I never forget ESG swinging and banging video got shot in front of my grandmother's house on Easter. And the dancers parked at my Aunt Marcy house and walked to the video set, and they had shorts with rips in them. So you could see their ass. And when I tell you that was like, oh my gosh, like you would have thought they was walking naked. Because this is in the 90s where the style was more like it was hard to be a hoochie mama, like because they didn't even make the clothes like in normal places.
Gotcha. You was curating your own hoochie clothes.
Like I was watching True Life and the girl like, ooh, this gonna be my hoochie shirt. It got my back out. like think of that. Like she was like her back out. Like oh my gosh,
serving.
I'm about to serve.
Yeah,
you know, hey, my mama can't see me in this.
Yeah.
I'm like, you about to show your goddamn shoulders.
And that's the blueprint for the 2000s. We was wearing low-rise jeans with G-strings on our hips.
Exactly. You would see, I would give you the illusion of like, they under here. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not calling nobody out. I'm just saying they just didn't make the clothes. Like, you had to, so the video girl couldn't dress like, a normal girl couldn't even dress like the video girl if she wanted to because where were you going to get it?
Right.
And so, because if you're watching the documentary, like the girls was walking around and like shit, you would like more clothes than you would go work out in nowadays.
Oh my goodness!
And I'm like, damn, they really thinking like they out here
freak-tastic
like freak-tastic with the clothes. I'm like, God damn, we went a long way.
Yeah, they had Fashion Nova back then.
Like they didn't. I saw one dude, J-Bo from BMF. He said in his interview, he was like, what's the biggest change for you when you got out of jail? Mind you, he went to jail in like 2004.
When he get out?
He got out like last year.
Okay.
Or the year before. And he was like, man, I went to Walmart. Seen all these girls walking around in like tights and spandex and like this is what they wear now? Like he fucked up.
Oh my God. And here I am with tights on right now.
But it's so like.
It's crazy.
And like he said it's so like, I didn't know what to do with myself.
Bamboozled.
I'm like, damn, it really was like
different.
like
that's wild.
And it puts things in perspective to you. It's like we are a risque generation.
I mean, yeah, but it's because like
we liberated.
We stand on the shoulders of those who came before us. Type vibes.
It always advances. It's like the envelope will always be pushed.
Yeah.
And so I feel like some ladies and some dudes will be looking at their dads and their uncles a little differently. You know what I'm saying? This is what y'all was on. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to go ahead and ask my parents. I know my mama didn't go. She ain't the type.
How old are your parents?
Not Gen X.
Yeah, they wouldn't. Like, that was only if you was over 25 at Freaknik, you was doing the most.
So these people are how old now?
They'll be about 50, just not hitting their 50s.
Okay.
Like, they're in my mom's generation.
Gotcha.
My mom was born in 69.
Okay, my mom was born in 60.
She would have been 25.
Okay.
You know, like I know my mom used to go to Kappa into the beach party and all that, so I know she was outside.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But my mom was the friend that kept the like, nuh-uh. Well, nuh-uh.
I know
that's right. I know that
because
that's how she was at the crib. I'm like, I felt like I knew the ones. Now that I think back, I knew the ones.
Yeah.
I'm just leaving
it. Is that
there.
your aunties?
They wasn't my aunties, but they act like my aunties. They was
not your real aunties, but like
the ones I feel like was the ones that started telling me I was getting muscles.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Auntie Niecy.
Yeah.
Auntie Pam.
Yeah. That's wearing the tight clothes and shit at 40.
Gotcha.
You know the ones.
I know the ones.
Keep them fresh. Yeah. But
I'm excited. Not excited, but I am curious rather.
Black Twitter is gonna go up that day.
Yeah. It's gonna be everybody who's a professor at Black Twitter University is going to speak their minds.
That's why I wanted to get ahead of it on the conversation before the think pieces came out.
Yeah. I'm scared to watch it, to be honest. Like, I'm scared to see that gathering, like a woman being trapped in a circle of men. Like, I'm scared of that. But I also do want to see, like, is there not a good side, but what was the positive side? Because how long was the Freaknik run?
I'm going to tell you, it started in like 92, 91. But I'm going to tell you, Freaknik was dope because there wasn't a lot of crime in Freaknik. They will tell you that.
Well,
I'm talking about like violent crime, like niggas getting shot up and
gotcha.
shit.
Okay.
Because honestly, it was, and what I like about it in the documentary, the podcast documentary talks about it, how the city kind of embraced it the first few years. Like, they allowed y'all to rock out.
Freaknik was allowed? I got just the name itself. You gotta
think they literally took over a segment of the city to where the traffic was at a standstill.
Okay.
But the cops were like literally allowing.
Yeah.
They'll call out something that was great, like very like brash or something, but for the most part, they just let them rock out.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking forward to it. I just feel as though don't judge. The reason I say don't judge is because you never know when your shit gonna come out.
That's real.
Like, imagine what our kids gonna be thinking when they start finding out like OnlyFans and shit like that.
Yeah.
Or they mama highlights on her birthday.
Yeah.
Or they daddy, like when he went with his partners, you know what I'm saying?
I know
like
exactly what you're saying.
I always wonder that because there's certain chicks I be following. Cause niggas be private with they shit on social media if they like
including their girls. They just real private.
Exactly.
All the way around.
But you got like it's some chicks I be following and I'm like, your kid like 15. I know he didn't came across your shit.
Yeah. I mean, we on the same apps.
Like, that's what is different. Like,
we're on the same apps.
While we on the same apps, your mama sitting there going back and forth with a chick on Facebook.
Ugh.
You know, Facebook is where you go back and forth with people.
For sure.
The hood is on Facebook. If you ever want to see the Hood Chronicles, go to Facebook.
My thing is, it's gonna, like, back then, what they were doing, the sexual assault side of what they were doing was wrong, period.
Because it too much was allowed.
Right. Correct. But, like, the fun aspect, quote unquote, fun aspect of it is jarring now because we live in different times where things like permission and emotional intelligence and, speaking your mind and like having agency over your body. All of these are terms that we use now that weren't even a fucking thing then, I'd imagine, because I was in elementary school. But I think now, to your point, it's kind of like we are going to look at it with a different lens because we're a different type of black people.
That's why I know the think pieces coming.
Yeah.
I know the think pieces are coming. They
already here.
They got the notes already prepared. Like, I'm going to call like this. This is going to be my talking point.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, hell yeah.
So, I ain't gonna but y'all make sure y'all pull up and watch that. Hey, you had spoke about something that we wanted to get to, though.
What did I speak about?
But I got to preface it with a story.
I'm kind of tipsy.
Me too. This shit was effective.
You know what I'm saying? Okay,
you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna tell y'all a story. I think I spoke about this briefly to you. But there was a man in Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
They say he emptied roughly $200,000 out of his family's joint bank account. That means it wasn't just his. When he emptied that bitch out, though, and just rode around on the freeway and just start throwing the money out the
making
it
rain on the freeway.
Making it rain out the freeway.
So he robbed his family,
unbeknownst to his wife and his kids.
What is he? What is his race?
He in Oregon. Let's do the math. He's in Oregon. Like Colin Davis McCarthy.
You have me a Colin. You know what I mean?
Colin,
like, come on.
You don't know a black man named McCarthy. That is Irish to the bone.
McCarthy. Look at the Irish.
Man, Colin, though, man. Colin at 38 years old decided one day
he's gonna rob his family.
I'm going to take everything.
He might as well have put a gun in his hand and a ski mask on.
And this is the crazy part. So the authorities are requesting that anyone that found money, because they say people just stop their cars and just start getting down. And I would have been people. Like, hazard lights on. Like, hold the fuck up. Am I tripping? This is raining, buddy. Like,
thank you. On the sidebar. of the freeway.
I would have got at least 5. Let me get at least 500. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. I would have thought of it as a blessing. Look at God.
Won't he do it?
Won't he do it?
Mama, guess what happened? I got $100,000.
That
I picked up on
phone
the freeway.
bill, I had put my phone bill on payment arrangements. It was looking a little shaky, coming around. And this is how I know God worked. You know, I'm trying to justify it.
Exactly.
I had to go back home. I wouldn't even been on that route.
Had he not sent me back home.
Had he not sent me around, like, I would have missed out on my blessing.
And blessings literally raining down.
And then when you see it, he put it on his heart to go empty out the bank account because he knew I needed it more.
He wanted to be a blessing to somebody else. Meanwhile, wife and kids distraught.
Oh,
hungry.
man. She probably found out when she was the target trying to swipe this. She's like, man, this decline. Like, because they got 200 G's in there, so she just swiped without a thought.
This is
Get what I'm
sick.
saying? Like,
I cannot, honestly, if I'm married to this person.
oh, man. What is the conversation? Like, what
Conversation?
What is the post you find out that your shit on empty?
Doesn't talk about anger and assault. Immediately, physically.
You ain't got no bond money either.
Mama, can you get me out? Because I had to put hands on this man for stealing from me.
I think it would have been justified, too, by the cops.
You stole?
Like, if a motherfucker, you find out she killed him in his sleep a couple days later, I don't think anybody would really judge her.
We're not blinking too many eyes. But my question is, why did he do it?
That's what scared me. Because if a nigga that's the point. I don't think everybody was thinking, like, if a nigga do some shit like that, he either suicidal or homicidal or both.
Right.
Because he don't care about the ramifications of what's about to come with this decision.
That's a psychotic break.
So that's where I'd be a little nervous, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, because first off, you figure like, oh, this nigga took out $197,000 on a Tuesday.
Why would the bank allow this?
I don't know, but I guess that would lead. There's a pause there. Somebody should have been like, you need all of it? I want all of it. Even the 23 cent? The 23 cent. Give me my 2 dimes and my 3 pennies. I want it all.
I need all the coins.
Even your sons? I want it. I want that too.
Fuck that nigga. College for what? He won't need it with his dumb ass. He was upset.
They can't even color the lines.
Johnny has 2 apples. This nigga.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't know why black parents think yelling it. Johnny has 3 apples. He gives 2 to Derek. How many does he have left? 3. Johnny has.
You gotta give me a second. I have literal
Kids.
tears.
Parents, don't do this to your child.
Oh, so many tears.
Don't do this to your child.
Holy shit.
Kids scared to move the pencil at this point. Like, my mom used to be like that with my brother.
Oh my
I used to be in the room damn near feeling like he getting his ass whooped. You know how you be
guilty.
shaking like,
sibling guilt.
I be there like, please. Like, you be there, it's 2, nigga. It's 2. Like.
Nah, for sure.
I'm like, nigga, damn dumb asses too. Like,
bro, my daddy was a math teacher, and that's how he was with
oh
us.
my God.
When it came to division, my daddy used to be pissed.
I'm sweating
screaming
my ass
answers.
off over here.
I got lemon
damn.
juice in my eye. This is
Oh
crazy.
my gosh, man. I don't know why that shit, like, that's not supposed to be funny.
That's hilarious.
There's some scared ass kids to this day that never met that scholastic potential because PTSD.
Parental bullying.
They get to school and answer this shit calmly, easy as hell.
Yeah, at home it's like, I don't know.
Skinny. I ain't gonna hit you. You know, they're like, parent be mad at you for you flinching, but you didn't hit me a few times.
Over
this is my response.
It's a trauma response.
Like,
oh man.
oh man.
That was a great laugh. My mascara is running. This is crazy.
Man, this is shout out to y'all. The parents and the kids too. Like,
oh shit.
I know it's hard coming home after you've been working. You've been up since 6:30, and your child ain't the brightest.
It's annoying, I'm sure.
It's gotta be annoying having a
But
dumb
honestly,
kid.
I'm gonna just stop talking. I can't. I'm gonna just give up. I would ask my husband to try, ask the sibling to try, and I'm off it.
I can see me just walking away and just turning off the lights, just like this.
Because I mean, there's other options.
Like,
There's tutoring, but it can't be me. I give up. I'm tapped out.
maybe he don't respond to me.
I'm getting a cocktail at this point. Cause I can't. Y'all, Torn is literally sweaty. He's crying from his forehead.
I'm trying. I haven't laughed as hard in so long, man. Oh my God.
So wait, what was we talking about?
We was talking about Colin.
I finna say Kaepernick. I'm tripping.
What would your response be to Colin?
I'm definitely. Well, obviously, he didn't just do it out of nowhere. I don't believe, unless he really is, struggling mentally. Either way, it's a physical situation now. That's the only thing I have for you is fists. You know what I mean?
Fuck a fist. You getting ran over.
Something something very dangerous.
Cause I'm gonna kill you before you kill me. Cause I'm scared for my life.
Well, we're not coming home, but now, like, what do? We take you to small claim. We take you to court.
That money is gone.
It's a wrap.
You can't even get insurance on it. That's why they plead and just bring it back.
Ain't nobody bringing that shit back.
It's Oregon, so they might get about 70% back.
That's nice. That
was in Dallas or Houston, Atlanta.
Houston?
That motherfucker is
They're
not
following him home to arrest.
I know it's somewhere in that bitch.
They're following him to the house. Absolutely not. Houston?
If a nigga just riding by passing out money, it's like, nigga, we can get out and get this money, or we can figure out where the money coming from.
Which one you want to do? Oh, work smarter, not harder. Exactly.
Like, get that nigga. I know he got at least 10 bands.
It's like, damn, nigga, it's fucked up.
Oh, man.
Nah, but how old is this man?
38. And
17, 38.
that brings me to another conversation. Because you had mentioned about the 30 scaries, the scary 30s.
Yeah. It's a real thing.
Why do you think that is? Walk us through it.
I'll say this. Honestly, maybe it's social perception.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, when you get to 40, it's like you 40, it's old. I don't think that, but that is the perception, right? So it's like, okay, if old is 40, and as for a woman, you know what I mean? Like, having kids is shaky. You know what I'm saying? You're entering in geriatric pregnancy, that's kind of like the only downside I would say to the 40 thing if you don't have kids. But like 40 is like, so that means my 20s, I always look at 20s as like your last codependent year of life, right? You still have parents of some sort. You still have a connection to home. You're in college. The government is hand-holding you throughout your process. So you still living on campus,
right.
Whatever. 30s is like your first decade of independence.
Complete decade.
Complete, solid decade of independence for the most part,
yeah.
Right? So you're experiencing things on your own. You got your own apartment probably. You off your mom and them insurance. You know what I mean? At 24,
25,
whatever it is, it's a wrap. So it's like all you. And then as you kind of like, you turn 30, and it's like, oh, I'm 30. But you basically in your mind 29. You know what I mean? And then you turn 31. It's like, oh, okay. No one cares about 31 or 32.
I'm figuring this shit out.
But when you are about to be 35,
that other side,
you are literally you're in your deep 30s.
Like, yeah, when somebody be like, yeah, he in his late 30s, like that shit hit way different.
Late 30s, even saying mid 30s is
the late 30s.
Shaky.
That's a different nigga. He could be gray.
Like, anything. You know what I'm saying? Like I was telling my best friend this the other day, at this age, I make audible noises when I sit or stand. Like when I get up from this chair, I'm going to be like, ugh.
My knee hurts for nothing.
It's sick. It's sick.
Like if I sit down too long, my hip just be so.
Oh, it's sick. It's a sick thing. And so I'm just like, I'm about to be 35 in November.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh my God, 35. I'm almost 40. And I was kind of talking about it earlier, like all the things that you're balancing. You're balancing mental health, physical health, health, right?
Like we have stuff we got to really start paying attention to.
My parents are getting older. My daddy forgets his keys 3 times. Now I'm scared.
Mm-hmm.
Like, should we go to a neurologist? You know what I mean? And making sure that they're, trying to live to see their future grandkid vibes.
Yep.
So you got parents getting older, anxiety about that, right? Bills are your bills now. You know what I mean? You living on your own. You can't just up and quit your job if you don't want to because you take care of yourself. You kind of got to pay attention to fucking politics because the decisions that you make affect your
Impact
life.
us, Social Security. Are we
Yes.
gonna be able to retire? Like,
Hello, our
taxes,
planet is
like,
withering away in front of
I
us.
catch myself at times when I be like trying to scroll through and I see someone on CNN. I'm like, keep going. I'm like, wait, nigga,
Yeah,
hold
go
on.
back.
See what is going on.
Yes.
And I think for me and others alike is sometimes we compare ourselves to our parents or our past generations.
Yeah.
Because I don't have any kids. I'm 36 years old. My
Mhm.
mom was 36 years old. I was 19.
Sheesh.
About to be 20.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think of the the different level of like accountability when you got a kid in college versus now I'm trying to figure out where I want to go to brunch.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we feel as though like we are behind the 8 ball at times because our parents were deep into their mortgages, deep into their marriage at this point, past generations, and we are a more optional, accepting generation. What I mean by that is, if we don't have to, like, we don't get married out of necessity anymore. We don't have kids because it's the thing to do. We don't respond to you asking us when we're going to have kids, you know, and
It's
give
almost
a damn.
offensive.
It's right. And so I think that we're the start of a generation that really don't give a damn to like the social clock.
We prioritize self.
Yeah. And that's a bad thing at times for some people because they look at it as like, okay, who is impacted when you have a more selfish generation?
Can I tell you something I think? Oh, go ahead.
Because then they think like y'all respond like Colin.
See, that's the thing.
Like,
See, I think that, and this is going to be a controversial statement, and I'm receiving it already, whatever. I think having kids is selfish.
Wait, yeah, put us on. Like, put us on.
It's because, okay, let me ask you this. Why have kids? Name what is the reason to have kids that benefit something other than yourself?
The only reason people, that's real, because the only reason somebody will have kids is because they literally want to have kids.
Period. It's selfish.
Because it's no.
You bring a kid in.
Being real, it's no real benefit other than a few more dollars in your check to having kids. You got,
and that's only during tax season. Everything else is a fucking, it's an expense.
I think what romanticizes
is high.
having kids is the family dynamic. If you have somebody to raise them with, that's what gets people caught up because you want to share the experience of being a parent and raising a family with this person that you land down to procreate with most times. It don't work out like that all the time, and a lot of times.
A lot of times.
And so I think that's where it ties is like the connection and the bond that we're creating, and this is it's like something we can build together.
Yeah.
That's where the romanticization of having kids comes from, is the potential. It's all potential, though.
It's a gamble.
That's why I said potential.
I don't gamble.
Because your kid might be Johnny at the table.
Or you have a kid who is Johnny at the table, and then your husband finds you unattractive after you've had kids, and they don't want to be with you no more. And now it's just you and Johnny, silly self. You know what I mean?
And now
it's
you
like,
yelling at Johnny even more now because he don't
you mad.
get his long division.
And now your husband, who was your husband, now your estranged husband, got him a new woman, and they got them a new Johnny. Now y'all a blended family. And it's like, I ain't signed up for this, nigga. That was me, you, and the kids to the end. I just feel like more often than not.
Johnny Sr. told you I'm going to be here.
And it's like, I believed you, Johnny. I believed you. I just feel like having kids, while the art of pregnancy is beautiful, you know what I mean? I like seeing families together. I get the romanticization of family and children. I do. And I can see myself having kids, but I can still go on record and say, I think that having kids is selfish. I want somebody to love me. My son is my king. He's my number one little man. Now he gotta live up. Come on.
No, I see where you're going, because sometimes people try to raise their kids into what they want their ideal mate to be, or what they wanted themselves to be. Like, you living through your kids.
Yeah, and they didn't ask
and
for that.
And that's the selfishness. Like, so I get where you're coming from. It's like you're bringing somebody in the world and not allowing them to be their individual self. And so, because I see it all the time. Like, look at the haircuts these little boys be having now.
Mm-hmm.
We had the low cut, You was stunned if you had a Caesar.
Yeah.
Now these dudes be having the braid plaits.
They got dye. They
got
dye in
dye.
patches.
I'm like, why you want him to look like your crush?
Okay.
Like, that's weird to me. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
strange for sure.
You dressing your kid up in everything you want a man like that you would aspire to find dressed like. I'm like, he don't want to wear them Gucci shoes.
And I also just feel like I will say this, to be honest, when I think about having kids, and I've told my friends this, when I think about it in my mind, I don't see a partner there. And that's something I need to unpack in therapy because I grew up in a 2-parent home with 2 very, very present parents. So I don't know what single parent life is like. So I don't know why when I think about children, I don't see like, oh, I don't imagine help. You know what I mean? Which frightens me even more.
That's not the norm that you see anymore.
Yeah. It's just not.
You're literally adjusting to the world around you.
I guess so.
Because you have to think, a lot of women take the option now, not a lot, but women take the option now of having a kid without
regardless
a mate.
Mate or not.
They're not waiting on the man to make it happen. And so I don't really like blame you for not seeing the mate there, especially as you get longer, like older, you start like taking away the aspect of like waiting on your Prince Charming or your Princess Charming.
And I also think that it's hard for me to think about, you know, a partner when it comes to kids. If you want to refill, let me know. I'm just gonna make it in your glass. But I don't know. I feel like I don't have a partner. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's hard to be like, oh, when I'm thinking my kids, I want to have 3 kids, and it's with me and my husband, and like I'm gonna work, and then he's gonna do the tutoring while I'm doing the dinner, and like Christmas. I don't really think about that because I don't have a partner in my life to like envision that with. I'm a visual learner, and I don't have that, so it doesn't make sense to me. But I always say that if my husband wants kids, I will give him children, and we can, you know, do the whole thing. But I can't. I was at my dad's birthday dinner. I was at my dad's birthday. Absolutely.
All right, I'm listening.
No, yeah, I was at his birthday dinner, and my aunt was like, "Sydney, do you want to have kids?" And I was like, "Kinda," but like, no. Like, I don't want to have kids. I can see me having kids with a family. And I was like, does it seem like more trouble than what they're worth?
Does that scare you though, the idea that you don't want to have kids? Because when you have kids now, it's like, it's a different sacrifice. Your day is not your day anymore. You have to plan your day around another being. So seeing the fact that I would have kids for the person that I love, that's a concession.
Yeah. I think because a piece of me wants to have kids.
You just want to make sure it's going to be received with the right person.
With the right person, because I like what my parents have. They celebrate 35 years of marriage July 22nd. I love that.
Love that.
You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't easy. I've seen struggle. I've seen, you know, back and forth, you know, all types of little moments of like, let's just take a break from this and then we'll come back stronger type of vibe. Like, I've seen a lot of that, and I respect them for sticking with it for our sake and their own. But no, I wouldn't say it scares me, because a piece of me can see myself as a mom. I see myself having boys. I'm just a boy mom to me. My mama thinks the same thing. But for me, it's just kind of like, I tweeted this recently, and this was like, it didn't go viral, but I got a lot of likes and a lot of retweets off this tweet. And I was like, y'all, the way my freedom is set up, I don't know about kids. Like, I can wake up at noon if I want to.
The world is bigger for us.
It's just
the world is just way bigger for our generation.
Speak on that.
Because we see it. Like, social media has opened the lens of the world that past generation didn't find. So you couldn't aspire as far.
Yeah.
You know, it's like seeing women and like going and living in Bali for a month and a half.
Yes.
I see that.
Me too.
Or, you know, or you meet people who just want to live bi-coastal every quarter. But when you have a kid, it sits you down, as far as like, you have to give that kid stability for it to really like be able to have a real chance at life. And so we kind of buck at the thought of being stagnant and going through your day-to-day of pick up the kid, feed them, go home, Like that gives a redundancy to some people that kind of scares that scares us. The lemon pack.
Lemon pack is going into the French 75 or the Mexican 75.
And so that's why I mean the world is just bigger to us, and so that's why I think we are less willing to give up our freedom.
I mean, yeah, because like you said, the options for us, I feel like we are the first generation where the options are publicly endless.
And then we're the ones that come into it while we have more funds available. Because you got to think, being in your 30s, you are normally more financially stable if you done life right in any type of shape or form, or
Right.
you at least have more stability. And so that just gives you more means to capture and experience this world and these things. And you want me to get this up? And I see how people feel that way. You said something before we get out of here that I really want to touch on.
Yeah.
When you spoke about the idea that I saw my parents married, but I also saw the process of marriage on a day-to-day. And we are in a generation, unfortunately, I've said generation about 70 times. Sounds like a PBS documentary.
Okay. Nigga.
But we are in a generation where the majority of us didn't grow up in married homes.
Mm-hmm.
And what that does is it romanticizes the aspect of what marriage is. Like, you feel as though this is supposed to be a sitcom.
Yes.
And that's why we are the flight generation, where we will leave at the first point of any like disparity or any type of trepidation in the marriage, because it's a benefit to see a marriage move day to day. The highs and the lows.
It was hard growing up.
The stagnant.
But yes.
Because now you feel like, oh, we can work this. You have the potential in your mind to believe I can work through this. We can work through this.
I've seen people work through it for, I was 8. No, I think I was 5 when I started to just see things. So for 30 years, I've seen different aspects of marriage, the ugly side and the beautiful side. I've seen them raise kids together. And I will say, that was one part where they were kind of always on the same page.
Yeah.
It's how they wanted to raise us, what they wanted to expose us to. When I was a kid, I never went to Redbird Mall. For those of you who from Dallas, you know what I'm talking about. I never went to Redbird Mall with my parents, ever.
Mm-hmm.
The only time I went to Redbird Mall was with my friends.
Yeah.
I was not allowed to go to Big T. I snuck and went to Big T and got in trouble. And my phone took away. We would go to, this is not a flex, this is just like them trying to expose us. But
to bigger than your neighborhood.
We would only go to North Park. North Park and the Galleria. That was it.
Because they wanted you to see beyond what your
yes, because my daddy grew up in Fifth Ward, Houston. My dad went to Cashmere.
Yeah.
Like, nothing about him was the Galleria.
I think that's also a disconnect with generations, too. It was like, they're the first generation that felt as though moving to a white space was the move up.
Yeah. Because there weren't move up blackness.
Well, you saw it.
Yeah.
Like in its own environment.
Right.
And unfortunately, that's why a lot of parents wanted to move their kids to white spaces or white schools.
Yeah.
Like, I went to predominantly white schools after elementary. And because that's where my mom felt I had the most opportunity to.
Or the biggest chance.
Exactly.
Chance at success. Yeah, I get that.
And so, but the conversations me and my girl are having is like, how can we give our kids black spaces while also having them in a point of being able to have a chance at life?
Yeah.
We were looking at private schools and stuff that have majority blacks, and that's when we came. And so I was thinking, like, that's conversation that I don't think our parents were having back then. Because you only saw the black experience in one way.
Yeah.
And so they wanted to give their kids something outside of that, and that only thing they saw was in the white spaces. So
yeah.
There's so much that you can kind of unpack.
I'll say this. I'm looking forward to 35. The Gen X's that I was with last night told me that's when I'm going to discover a lot about myself.
Life gets so lit.
I'm excited for that. I think I know what I want in life. I know what I don't want, and I'm actively trying to navigate through and only kind of tap into the things that I know that I want. So I'm excited.
I'm excited for you.
Thanks,
I feel like it's gonna be a huge time of growth for you, because I see you've become more locked in with like your business.
Yeah.
It's not just about the experience. And that just comes over time because, like you say, I got to make this shit count when you get into your 30s. That's another thing. You put more pressure on yourself because the moves you make have to count more. You feel as though your clock is ticking.
You only got 2 more
financially.
lit decades.
Is what I'm saying. So, I don't want to be the old man working hard. Try to make this thing, keep moving. So,
Yeah, I feel that.
man, I just think this was a very eye-opening conversation.
I think so too, friend.
And it's one of those things where, I feel as though this is our most enlightened conversation that we've had so far, only because we were a little bit more transparent with ourselves than the norm. And that's because we dealing with the scary 30s.
We are, and we also have some Mexican 75s to get us.
Man, shout out to you for giving us
I don't think I can reach your cheers.
for giving us this elevated drinking experience.
You're welcome. Curated by
because I would have us drinking out of red cups.
Absolutely not. I brought my martini glasses so we can feel bourgeois.
This the good one. These heavy. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Man, it's so good to be back in the lab with you, Sid. And let them know exactly like what you got coming up that you got in the pocket again. So
yes. So baddie brunch. I haven't had a baddie brunch since 2019. So I'm coming out of retirement. Baddie brunch is going to be April 23rd. We're going to have free flowing. I call them French 75s, but free flowing Mexican 75s featuring Patron. We'll have brunch bites. We'll have music, floral decor on 10 Instagram moments. If you're looking for a space to get your content, but also meet some Black women and also, have a couple or more French 75s.
Fellas,
this is the event for you. I'm looking for a place to send my baddies after. I think I might, I don't know, I'm kind of drunk right now, but I might hit up off the record and like get a DJ and just like funnel everybody there.
Yeah.
And let's just have like a casual day party, All vibes.
All vibes.
No sections, all vibes.
Sid is legendary for creating the vibes, you know what I'm saying? So, and the non-sectional vibe.
Yeah, I ain't got time for those sparklers.
We don't need the sparklers. We coming for a good time. So,
yeah.
Fellas, y'all need to tap in too. Because, you know what I'm saying? I will say this. She has the demographic of women that are wives. You know what I'm saying?
The wives on lock. Yes. And they're looking for husbands. Okay.
So y'all go on and pull up, man. Don't be afraid to put your clothes on and step out. Your linens. You know what I'm saying?
Your linen looks. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So going on and tap in with her. Again, if you rocking with us and keep rocking with us, then going on and keep pressing that like button. Keep following the page.
Absolutely.
At Let's Drink to That Pod on Instagram. Let's Drink to That Podcast on YouTube. The video is there. And y'all make sure y'all come in and let us know what y'all want to hear more about.
Yes.
So, again, it's your boy Antoine.
I'm Sydney, also known as @Stephanique.
And this is Let's Drink to That Podcast. And we
love
out.
y'all. Bye.
Peace.